What's
What's
new
new?
with John
And Jude.
Hell yeah.
This week we talk about. This week
This-
we talk about.
you say it.
This week we talk about Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah. And that's all we talk about because it's such a great show that we spent an hour talking about Love, Death, and Robots. So I hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Stay updated on us. Here we go.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would
Today,
have thought?
who would have thought that we're here? We're back at it again for 5 weeks in a row. Kind
Well,
of?
not in a row.
Not-
Not in a row.
Yeah, in a row. Well, like 5.
Oh, the uploading.
Not uploading, but we're recording these things regularly. We're just
Yeah.
not uploading them regularly because, all right, if you're watching this now and this looks different, it's because we're actually, all the visuals are being recorded through OBS as we record our screens, because the way we were doing it before was like post editing, and that was like really, it was more time consuming. So this is on a lot easier way of doing it.
Yeah, John came up with a good workflow, so it's easier for him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no characters, but
We still kind of got the characters, but
yeah, it's
It's
more. Yeah, I really like doing this podcast, and I want to keep doing it, but making doing it the way we were doing it before just made it a lot harder. So we chilling now. This should be a lot better.
yeah. So John finally watched Love, Death, and Robots after I told
Yes.
him to watch it for so long. I was like, come on, John.
Yes.
Like, this is literally like the show for you and me.
I know.
And-
Oh my god. And
Yeah.
my overall thoughts, oof, very, very good. Like I love that they're all different stories. I love that they were, honestly, I like that they're all short because it required, the creators to tell like a good story concisely, like in a short time. Even if there wasn't like a lot of backstory or this or that, it was still like you still have like 10 minutes to bring like an eye to like a new world, and it was a lot of like world building, which is really cool. The animation, like, all the different styles were really amazing. Some of them were super realistic, some of them were really stylized, and both I like both of that. Yeah. And some of them were like, some of the stories were like really good. Like some of the stories were just like average stories, but like still good like episodes. But some of the stories were really good, and I think taking in consideration like everything. I know, Jude, you gave it a 9 out of 10, right?
Yeah, I rank the seasons differently.
Oh yeah.
So I think the first season had the highest rating, and then as season 2, season 3 came along, they had like one less. Because I thought season 1 was the best, but yeah, I ranked them like in its own void, not like overall.
Yeah. Season 1 was definitely the best. I agree. If you're listening, you haven't watched Love, Death, and Robots, it's very good.
Skip this episode.
Yeah, skip. Well, I mean, I always put the timestamps like in the description and in the video, so you can just like skip this section. But if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's so good. And it's short. Like you could watch all 3 seasons in like a day and a half if you wanted. But I think I would give season 1 definitely a 9. But like part of me wants to say 10 out of 10, but it wasn't. It's so close to being a 10 out of 10. There were like a lot of really good episodes. I think 3 out of my top 5 episodes are in season 1. I think if there were more of those, like there was 18 episodes in the first season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And if maybe half or like 3/4 were like top 5 material, then I would say maybe a 10 out of 10. But it was definitely a 9 out of 10. especially because they were like 3 out of my 5 favorites in there. Season 2, I think, was my least favorite, just because I think there was the least amount of episodes that I would put in like top 10 there. Season 3, I think, was my second favorite. I think I would give season 2 and season 3 both 8 out of 10s, just because they're both really good. Season 3 maybe gets a 9 out of 10, but season 1 definitely deserves 9 out of 10. So do you want to get into our this is especially for the people who have seen Love, Death and Robots, because if you haven't, then you have no idea what we're talking about. Do you want to get into our top 5 favorites and why?
Yeah, definitely. But before we do that, like for me, yeah, like I'd say second season was like first season was 9 out of 10. Second season was 8 out of 10, and then third season was 7 out of 10. I would say that like first season was the best one, my favorite, and then the second season was probably like an 8 out of 10, and then third season was a 7 out of 10. And before we started recording today's session, I was asking John, like, should we do, since we're going to do top 5, should we do bottom 5? But then I realized, like, I don't really have, like, a bottom 5, like, the worst, the bad episodes are better, TV compared to, like, all the other shit that's out there right now. But compared to like the phenomenal like 10 out of 10 episodes that the show has, they're like mid, but they're still really good. Like, but there are some episodes which were not as like interesting, or the art style didn't really captivate me as much, or just the story in itself. So yeah, but there was no like worst episodes. They were just episodes that were not as memorable as the top 5.
Yeah. I definitely have a lot of honorable mentions too. Like beyond my top 5. Like I have a lot more than 5 that I found really good. But if we go just top 5. So should we get into the list? Should we each give our like 5, then 4 and 4, and then 3 and 3? Like that?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's do it like that.
And do you actually like have them like in order of your favorite? You do, right?
I can come up with an order, but they're all like, I could come up with an order, but they're all pretty, very, very close together.
Yeah, I can go first then with my 5 if you want to think about yours.
Yeah.
So I think my 5th spot goes to the very last episode of season 3, Jabaro. And if you've seen this one, why do you say wow? Do you think it'd be higher? Or?
I thought it'd be higher.
Yeah, I think 5 and 4 for me can be flipped. Just because, you know what? I think I have to flip them. Now. I think you convinced me. All right, my new 5th best Love, Death, Robots episode is the last episode of season 1. Zima Blue, and originally it was my 4th favorite because I really liked the story, and the animation style was very interesting too. It's kind of like, I don't know how accurate this is, but it's kind of Samurai Jack-ish in my mind. It kind of reminded me of that, but a little more like comic booky. So the animation was very good, but the thing that I liked the most about it was definitely the story and like the ending. And how the ending, like the payoff for the ending was really told well throughout and built up well throughout the whole story. And so like the pacing and is really the storytelling in that episode that did it for me. But the reason I think I'm switching from, actually no, I'll get into Jabaro when we get to 4. But while it was a very good story and the animation was very interesting, I think that sets like a good like precedent for how good these other episodes are in my mind. Just because it's not like, it's very good, but it's number 5. And yeah, I think I just really liked the ending on how he he kept making like Zima kept creating like all these like insane artworks, and I thought it was funny when he started like painting the planets like blue, or like the asteroids blue. I'm like, I was like, man, this guy has like a god complex. But I thought it was at the end, and the reveal that he was like just a swimming pool cleaning robot, and he gained like AI sentience. And then after like literally going across the cosmos and searching for the meaning of life, he, in my mind, that's how I interpreted it, he realized that like the important part, or like what was important to him, was just kind of going back to, I don't know, his origin, which to me meant like the overall message was like the meaning of life is, or the meaning of life is the purpose you give it, kind of, because like the world is so big, the universe is so big, you could feel like sometimes insignificant, but that just means the meaning that you put into it is the meaning for you. So for him, he did all of that, but he wanted to return to cleaning the pool as his ultimate art piece, which I think, as an artist myself, or no, I like to consider myself an artist, I guess. But as an artist myself, I thought that was it resonated with me. It's like why do you create things, or what is even like the purpose of creating things? What is even the purpose of life? But I thought, it was really the storytelling and the message and the end that got it to my top 5. It was a very good story. So what about you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go like my reasoning is deep.
That's fine.
But I feel like my 5th one would probably be The Secret War. As a fan of like war movies myself, and like the aliens stuff, I'm really into sci-fi as well. I thought it was a really good mix of both. The story was pretty cool. It's a very, very straightforward story. There's no I don't think there's any secret meaning or messages behind it, but I definitely thought it was very entertaining. And just the fact that like just the visuals were just stunning. And yeah, it's just very, very good old, war movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna die on this hill.
That was good.
We're the final, hold off, and then they had to send one of his men to go bomb the point that they were standing on and shit. I thought it was really good. I definitely it definitely seeing that really wowed me at that point, and I was really excited to watch the rest of the show. I was really looking forward to it. And yeah. No.
Yeah, no. Valid. I mean, I just kind of went off in a tangent on mine, but I definitely get what you're saying, and a lot of these episodes were like that, where they were just really cool. And yeah, I like Secret War too. It is a good one, for sure. Yeah.
I can go for my 4th one, number 4. I'll do number 4. I'd say number 4 would probably be Kill Team Kill.
That's another banger.
And I thought that one was a better version of Secret War. I saw because I watched Quarter Digital's video on Love, Death, and Robots before watching Love, Death, and Robots, and they covered Kill Team Kill, and they covered Jabaru and stuff. But I thought that, so I had the grizzly bear thing spoiled for me, so I knew it was coming. But it definitely had a lot of interesting twists, and just the art style was so good, and I thought it was really funny and entertaining, and it was just, the action was amazing. You could really tell a lot of love and thought was put into it, and it was just overall a really good episode that I enjoyed a lot more than the other episodes in season 3. So
yeah, I really like Kill Team Kill also. It was very fun, and I would say also funny. And that the robot that they had was very cute. It always get bonus for the cute characters. But yeah, it was another good like action banger, just straight cool ass episode kind of thing.
Especially like the fact that when they were like holding off and they were like watching one corridor and then the bear comes in behind them.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I was like, why is the framing of this composition so big? Why is there such a big space behind them? Like the bear's probably gonna come behind them, but no, it was really cool. Yeah, another action banger. And now that you mentioned the Corridor Digital episode, I really should go and watch that, because my number 4 is Jabaro, and part of why is my number 4 is because the animation is so realistic, and so incredibly well done and beautiful, and
Wait, sorry, John, for me it froze a little bit. You said Jabaro was your 4th one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, continue.
And I don't know. I like to think that I can tell good VFX from bad VFX, and like I think I've watched enough Corridor Digital to be able to tell like why something is good VFX and bad VFX, like the reflections, the lighting, the shading, the textures, all the elements that it takes for something to be like a really realistic and beautifully animated shot, along with me just like knowing like I know like different kinds of animation. I don't really know a lot of like CGI or like 3D animated animation for like movies and stuff, because that's not my industry. I'm more like animation, like 2D animation, motion design, motion graphics. But I like to think that I have a good taste when it comes to something like that. And Jabaro was just like so beautifully done, and there were some scenes definitely that had to do with like the compositing, but that they just looked so realistic and so beautiful. So along with that, but also the beautiful story. I thought the concept for the story was like a siren and then like a deaf soldier was like a really cool concept. And the way like they handled the story that wasn't just like a totally normal like way of telling a story. It was they kind of done like through dance, so it had more of like a artistic like more artistic license to it. It was more, I don't want to say it's more creative, but it was more it took what it was trying to tell you and did it in like a little different way, which I really enjoyed that about the story. Now I want to see what my number 3 is, because low-key, should Jabaro be number 3? Oh, I think Jabaro should be number 3, low-key, because it was so good. Like,
it was so good. I want to talk about Jabaro, but I want to wait until
you get there.
I rank it, because it's in my top 5.
You know what? Okay, Jabaro. Now looking at what I put for 3, Jabaro was definitely number 3. And then okay, so I kind of cheated on that, but you can go 3 and then 2. But I guess what I have now for my number 4, which was my number 3, is Bad Traveling, which was the crab one.
Oh yeah.
And I really like that one because I think the story, the concept was also like really cool. Like, like a highly intelligent crab that like talked through a dead pirate and was trying to get passage through the ship. Wow, that was a really cool concept, and like the stakes of it, and like the intensity, and like the backstabbing and the sabotage. I thought that was like a really, really cool and like fun story. And also the animation, like while it wasn't going for hyperrealism, it was still going for like super realistic and like in the environment and everything. Yeah. While stylizing the characters a little bit, in like proportion and art style. And I thought that was like very visually cool too. Because the water, I don't know if you particularly remember the water, but I like took particular note of how realistic and well done the water was. I was like, oh my god, like CGI, bro. It's getting insane. So
yeah, that's definitely a really good episode.
Yeah, and yeah, so like all what I said before, like the the tension and the backstabbing and like the captain working with the crab, and at the end he like kills everybody. Spoiler. And then he blows up the ship. Yeah, I thought that was just really exciting. But I did move it down to 4 because I do think now talking about Jabaro deserves to be number 3 with the intense. And I'm keeping Jabaro at 3, I think.
Yeah.
It's not moving up anymore. But
it started at 5 and now it's at 3.
The visuals, the animation, and not just like how good the CGI looked, but like the actual visuals, like what they depicted, the composition. It is very beautiful, and the stylizing of it was like there was like a lot of flashing colors, and it wasn't just like straight camera. Like there was a lot of like blur and like depth of field and like colors, and it added to the chaos. There was so much chaos in there, but it was told very artistically. There was so much good going in Jabaro that it's definitely top 3 for sure. All right, you go now.
Dude, you started out at 5 and now it's at 3.
I know, but I don't think it's going up any higher.
Okay, we'll see. Before I say mine, I would have to agree with yours. Like, Bad Traveling was definitely a memorable one. At first, like the thumbnail, I thought it was gonna be like a photorealistic episode, but no, it was stylized, and I really enjoyed like the tension. Because you could tell, like, you couldn't really trust anybody. And it was just really good, I think. Just the story overall, like, even despite the visuals, like, if it was a live action, it would still be really good. I would still enjoy it very much. And, yeah. But it's not my top 5.
Okay.
For 3, I want to say Jabaro. And I'm saying that because my other 2 are really good, but Jabaro is amazing, and like just like the visuals and the story, like the fact that every time it was like focused on the deaf guy, like you couldn't hear anything, like all the sounds were off, and I watched the Quarter digital video and they covered it, because they had the guy that made some of the episodes like come in and talk about it. But Jabaro is basically like they had dancers choreographed, like they were choreographed dancers, and they like had like videos of them, and then they like animated it frame by frame with the characters, and it's insane. Like it's crazy the amount of work that went behind it. And like I don't know, like some frames in Jabaro, like you can tell like it's like a CG character running around. And then like some parts of the environment is moving, but then other parts of the environment is actually painted in, like some details of the environment is painted and not moving at all. So it's crazy. It's like it's mixed media. It is done so well. The story is done really well. The blood looked really good. Like the fluid looked really, really good.
The blood, water.
I don't remember how it ends. I'm pretty sure like the guy dies because like he regains his hearing, right?
Yeah, he drinks out of the bloody river, and this was, I guess, more of the fantasy side, because I don't know how he regains his hearing by drinking. I don't know if I missed something, but he like takes all her gold off her body. He like almost kills her, and then all the water turns to blood. He drinks out of the bloody river, regains his hearing, then she kills him.
Yeah, I think
is satisfying.
Like
low-key.
I think it was just like so good. Like there was like no spoken word.
Yeah,
like,
that was good.
There was no dialogue at all, and you could tell like the emotion from like the dancing and just the way like it was shot and like how it was filmed. Like you can really like tell the emotion behind it, especially the siren. Especially once she got her gold ripped off her, like you can tell that girl was distraught. She was like she trusted this guy. It was crazy. It was really good. Jabaro's up there.
Yeah, but also like so it's always like a back and forth. Like she killed all his men, all the soldiers, and so like he kills her. But then because he doesn't get to kill her, like he doesn't finish her off. Like she kills him for like betraying her. But at the same time, like, is it even her fault for killing all the men? Because that's just what she does. Like, I don't know. It's hard to be like it's anyone's at fault. But I don't know. It's very interesting. Up for interpretation.
Yeah. My second choice would probably be Sonny's Edge. Right? That's how I say it. Right?
Yeah, Sonny's Edge.
Sonny's Edge, yeah.
This dude. Yeah.
Bro, I haven't watched this shit in like a minute, okay? Shut the fuck up. Aquara.
Sonny's Edge.
Fuck off. Anyways, that episode was really, really well done. I thought like the visuals and like the monster concepts were really cool. You can like, I was like really paying attention to like, you know, how I really liked how like each monster was made and how you could tell like, you know, the skinny one was gonna be like really fast and agile, and they had like 2 different fighting styles and stuff like that. And they were like it was really like based off the fighters themselves, you know, like their personalities and stuff. You can really tell that those monsters were like a reflection. And the twist at the end was crazy as well. I was not expecting that. And I think that's why it ranks so high up in my list, because I'm a big fan of Black Mirror. And my favorite Black Mirror episodes are the ones with twists in them. So I was just watching the episode, and I didn't really expect that coming. That was a very like maybe the 3rd episode of season 1. I was like, okay, this is how it's gonna go. This is how the show's gonna be. And it's definitely really good. The art style is so good, and the story itself is really, really good. Like, I really like the world building, you know. You can tell like the fighter, like the main character's been through hell, you know. You can tell from like just like the visuals and the story, like the exposition and stuff like that, and how she like acts around people. It's really well done. I thought up there.
Yeah. Should I go for my top?
Yeah.
So my
number 2.
Huh?
Your number 2.
Yeah, my number 2.
Jabaro.
It is Jabaro. Nah. I think this one is my number 2 is better than Jabaro. Just slightly. So I would have to give number 2 to Good Hunting, which is the 2D animated one. I set in like a steampunk version of I think China. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Like steampunk China. And the reason this one ranks number 2 for me is because I think this one out of all the episodes is the best story and the best told story out of all the episodes. So like basically how it goes is, you know, I'm just gonna do like a 5-second recap, but like, you know, the young boy hunting like this fantastical creature, which is like a half woman, half fox, and then he like spares her. The world starts becoming more advanced with like the steampunk like machinery, and then her magic gets lost. And then she like gets she becomes like a prostitute because that's the only way like she can like take care of herself. And then, you know, basically like she gets like in like the captivity of like a governor or something, which he like turns her into a robot because that's like the only way he can like he wants to have sex with robots because he's like I don't know, that's his thing. But then at the end she goes back to like the main guy who like spared her, and he turns her into like a mechanical like fox, like transformer fox, and then she goes out and like hunts down like bad men. I think the reason I like this story, I think this is the best story, is because it starts in one place and it brings you around and ends like in the same place but at like a new evolved point. Because in the beginning, they like the fantasy fox race creatures, like she would be hunting like men for like that were like I don't know if they're like entranced by her or something, to like hunt them and like kill them or something. And then it brings you along this whole story that shows the change between the two main characters. And at the end, the two main characters work together again, and like break through the main challenge, or I don't know if it's the word challenge, but like she loses her fox powers, but then he gives her like steampunk fox powers, and it goes full circle where she begins to hunt men again that like abuse women and stuff. And I just think like that story and the way it was told and the whole arc was done like so well, and it was definitely in my opinion, it was the best story out of all of them. And the animation, while the animation is not like Jabaro level, it's still solid 2D animation, and it fits the story to me. So I think I give Good Hunting number 2 for those reasons. It's just such a good story that I highly recommend it. So yeah.
Yeah, Good Hunting was really top tier. I say it's like close to my top 5. The story was like phenomenal. Like I feel like it does a lot of show don't tell. Like she kind of explained like what was happening to her, but then when she finally like took off her clothes and stuff, it's like my jaw dropped.
Yeah, I thought it was just her legs.
My jaw dropped. I was like,
yeah, holy shit.
And yeah, I thought it was amazing. Like the relationship between the two main characters were really well developed, and just the overall like story building and like the world building and the world building that episode alone was really good. Like it really shows, you know, adapting to the new civilization, because they were going through like, you know, it was like I think medieval age to like the Iron Revolution or whatever. So they were like, both characters had to adapt and evolve, and the woman really couldn't. She didn't really know how, because she, you know, was so used to like the old ways and stuff. So I thought it was really great, and yeah, the story was so good, and just a twist. Like I will never forget my jaw literally hitting the floor when I saw how much of a robot she became. I was floored. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah. Oh my god.
It was so good. And they didn't say it. Like, she didn't explain it like that, you know? Like, your brain assumes one thing, and then the story.
Yeah, that is just such good storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
high
up there
quality
for me.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
But not top 5. My number 1 would be the Beyond the Akira riff.
Akira.
Fuck off. Yeah, that one was the top for me. And it was like the second episode I think, for season 1.
Yeah.
And when I watched that, I was just like, I think like watching that was really set the bar high for like what was to come for the rest of the show. And like the animation and like the visuals were pretty like top tier, like visual or like video game cinematics, or like not like photorealistic, but definitely going for a realism kind of style. And I thought that the story was really good. I feel like from the minute they time travel, like the minute they travel into space and like they like get into their little boxes, the tension is there. Like you can definitely feel like something's wrong, especially when they land in the station. Like you can definitely tell like something in the back of your mind is like telling you that this is not real. And as the story progresses, like you kind of like that feeling in the back of your head like starts growing and growing, and you're like, yo, when is the ball gonna drop?
Yeah.
And it is just so good. Like the whole like 17 minutes, I was just on the edge of my seat, like wondering what's gonna happen, you know. And when the ball finally did drop, I was very shocked. I was like, holy fuck, this guy is like wakes up in like the box thing, but everything's like covered in like some sort of like alien webs, and like you see like all these like other ships, and you see his teammate like literally like skeletons, and he's like his arms are like so skinny, and he's skinny, and he has like a full beard. And then you see like the monster coming out of the shadows. At first I thought it was like a monster woman, but it was a straight up spider out of the shadows.
They do that so well with the shadows. Like you see the body coming out, and then it reveals the whole thing.
Oh my god. I was like, that was so good. Like, the whole 17 minutes, you can tell, like, just the fact that the like the movie or like the episode doesn't have to like tell you something's wrong. It doesn't have to like show you like obvious signs that something's wrong. But the fact that the tension's there the minute they leave is just so phenomenal. And also because I feel like anybody who's watched like a horror movie or like a space horror movie in that case can tell like something's gonna go down. Like something feels off.
I think it was the point in like the very beginning where the woman crewmate, she was like, I found this shortcut that'll take us like here. I was like, that's not a good don't take the shortcut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would give Beyond the Killer if we're doing top 10, it might be like 6 or 7 for me. It barely doesn't make the top 5 for me, but like you said, the storytelling was done so well. It definitely was a show don't tell kind of thing where you could tell something was wrong, and it was slowly building, and you knew something was wrong. But the reveal at the end, like you said, was so well done. And there's something about Love, Death, and Robots that like half of the episodes are like nice, and half the episodes are so despairing at the end. You're like, this is so depressing. Fishing trip, that was kind of depressing.
Fishing trip? Which one's that one?
The one in the desert where they get the 2-car salesmen get stranded, and the one guy gets eaten. I'm like, bro, it's so depressing. Beyond the Killer Rift is like especially depressing because it's like at the end you get the reveal, the super horrible reveal, and then he gets like, I don't know, I guess like the main like alien queen can like mind control a little bit or like put them under like a spell. Like I feel like he like knows, like when in the very last part where he gets back into the vision or gets back into his hallucination or dream state or whatever. I feel like he knows that he's still in the nest. Yeah. He's like, yeah, everything's okay, we're good. And it's so depressing. It's like, man, like he's just dead. Everyone's just dead. Like that sucks.
That's what I love about Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, it can either go either way. That's why for me, like Helping Hand was a really good one where she is like, she has to rip off her arm and throw it to get back to the station. Because like you never really know if she's gonna make it or not, because Love, Death, and Robots can go either way. Like she could totally die or make it. But for me, I
was gonna say another point while you were talking that I thought it was like, I really like those episodes where my imagination can go run wild, and I feel like as the episode was like going on, my mind was like going through all these horrible things that could happen, and it just blew like my imagination like away. Like what actually, like the reveal was a lot more than what I thought it was gonna be. I know there's a certain term for it, but like I definitely really liked that episode.
Like
a lot.
Beyond expectations, is that the word you're looking for?
I don't really know. Like it sets, like, I don't know. It's just like your imagination is a lot worse than what the actual thing is gonna be. But I feel like I could not have come up with that fucking ending.
Yeah, it's so good. And that is why I give my number one spot, which I would have to say my favorite episode from Love, Death, and Robots is Sunny's Edge. You touched on it briefly, but I thought like, the world building was so well done. And there's a lot of world building in every episode of Love, Death, and Robots. There's world building to different degrees. But I thought the world building in Sunny's Edge was really cool, like the monster fighting underworld. What happened to Sunny before? I mean, they definitely allude to like some things happening outside of the show, of the episode, because of Sunny's backstory. And then at the end, you get a great episode throughout the whole thing, throughout the fight, and then at the end of the fight. At the end of the fight, I was like, all right, there's got to be like something happening because the episode is still going on after the fight. So it's like, all right, something's going to happen. and then you get more of Sunny's character and her story. I wouldn't say you get like development, but you learn about her character more, which makes you more interested in her. As she is talking to like that woman in like the cage room. I don't know. And then the reveal where the woman like stabs Sunny through her head. I'm like, bro, like what happened? And then at the end, of course, the final reveal where it's revealed that Sunny isn't the woman, Sunny is the monster. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Like you kind of get like some sort of hints like that, just like how Beyond the Keeler Rift is your favorite with like the storytelling in the building. I kind of attribute the same thing to Sunny's Edge, where you do get like hints of like there's something else here, and it kind of builds and builds, and the reveal at the end. The reveal at the end is similar to Beyond the Keeler Rift, where it's like it's so big and it like makes everything make sense. But this time it's a little different because it's not super despairing. This one is like more like super like enticing or interesting. It's like this opens up so much more to like the world, and it's like I want so much. I want to see like a whole series, based off this one episode. Because the character and the situation of the character is so cool. I thought that the story. Like Good Hunting is a really good story, but its story is, I feel like, encapsulated within the episode. I think one of the reasons why I like Sunny's Edge is because it has a good story within the episode, but there's so much more that could be done, and it just is so like interesting to me. And yeah, the twist at the end is just way too nutty. When it's like
the double reveal, the
double reveal, the double twist. It's like my edge isn't that like whatever. It's that every time I step in the ring, I'm fighting for my life, and I'm like, oh my god! I was literally like, I was watching the tour, and we were literally like, oh my god! It was so cool. It's so cool.
I think some of the better Love, Death, and Robot episodes is definitely those episodes where you kind of feel like you're hopping into it halfway through the story. Like Sunny's Edge, like it feels like there could be a story before the fight and after the fight. Like what happens then? Like what happens to Sunny's body? Do they make her another body? Does she do that? Or like how the fuck do they get out of that? Because they kill the main leader guy. And the Keeler's Rift, there's the story before, like how they, their mission before, like having to go travel, and then what the fuck happens afterwards? Like, does he stay in that dream state? Like, what?
Yeah, he's definitely dead. That guy's dead.
Who knows?
But it's another one of those episodes that like it has a really cool universe that I want to see like built on more.
Like Sunny's Edge 2.
Yeah, like they did the 3 Robots. They did a sequel for the 3 Robots.
Yeah.
They should do a sequel. Well, I don't want to say they should do a sequel because I think the goodness of those episodes is that it's kind of open for imagination afterwards. So I don't know. Do you have any honorable mentions that you want to just quickly like?
I do, yeah. So the honorable mentions that I have that didn't make my list was Good Hunting. This is in no particular order, but Good Hunting, Night of the Mini Dead. That one was really interesting. I don't know. There's not really, it's not like the most visually crazy one. It's not like it's a pretty straightforward story.
Yeah.
But I think it is just so interesting because you don't really see a story being told in that kind of way. It's like these little miniatures, and it's just so cool. I just thought it was really entertaining. It was a very short episode, but definitely one of the most memorable ones for me. Not worthy of my top 5, but still entertaining.
Yeah.
And Life Hutch, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan, Life Hutch.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a banger.
It was really good.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I think just the world, I think he was like a commander or something, and then he just got shot down like out of nowhere, and he just, you expect like him to be in a big firefight and stuff like that, but he just gets like flung down into this like world, and he has to find like shelter now, and you follow him through his like little adventure, and it is fucking insane, and it looks photoreal. Like Michael B. Jordan looks like he's acting in it, but it's just
it's because he is. I looked it up, and everything is animated except for the Michael B. Jordan
really?
shots. Yeah. Because I was debating with Tori. I'm like, because I like to think that I can discern whether something is VFX or animation, and I was like, everything looks animated, but Michael B. Jordan looks so well done. Like, this cannot be animation, and I'm like, I have to look it up. He's him, and then everything else is animated. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that, but that was my that's on my honorable mentions.
Let's see. I pulled up the episodes here. Honorable mentions for me. If I were to go like top 10, and these 5 aren't in any particular order, it would be Beyond the Gila Rift, The Witness, which is
that one's really good.
Done by the same people. Yeah, done by the same people that did Jabaro. That's why The Witness just looks like insane. Like, it looks realistic, but stylized realistic.
Looks so good.
Yeah. I think it's called All Throughout the Night. The stop motion one with the Santa, Demon Santa. That one was just really fun. And I think that it was just more like a fun one. I thought the concept was really cool, and it was just really fun. It wasn't like super, like, the story wasn't super like crazy or anything. But it did leave you with like a fun, like, what would happen if you weren't good kind of thing, because both the kids are good, and that was a fun one. The Very Sound of the Machine, I think that's what it's called. The Very Pulse of the Machine. It's
really?
Yeah, in space. I thought that the story was really cool, and like the planet was like a character, but you couldn't really tell what the real intentions of the planet were. It was like, because at the end, the whole time it was using the voice of the dead pilot to like talk to the main character, to lure like the main character into like jumping into like this pit of like acid or something. And then at the very end, like, it's using the voice of the main character to talk to like the spaceship in the space, and I'm like, is the planet like attracting people to kill it, or like, is it like the planet like a predator, or like, is it trying to kill people, like get into fall into the planet or something? But I thought like just also the concept and the story was pretty cool. Like, she was trying to save or like stay alive. I thought that was a good one. Kill Team Kill. Did I already say 5, or is that 4? I don't know.
Say another one.
Kill Team Kill, Very Pulse of the Machine, All Throughout the Night, The Witness, and Beyond the Gila Rift. Yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
That's good. I think overall it was just a really good show, and definitely up there.
They're coming out with the 4th season.
Good, and I hope they take their time with it. And make it as good quality as all the other, all the other episodes.
Yeah, I think season 2, looking back at the episodes, was definitely my least favorite. It had the least amount of episodes, but also like, I think I don't know if I put any of my top 10 from season 2 in there.
There were some good episodes in season 2. Not as much as like compared to other ones.
Yeah, they had.
I feel like there were like such good episodes. Like Sucker of Souls was gonna be on my top 5.
Sucker Souls was a good one.
That one was good. Suits was up there when you and I were talking about it.
Yeah.
The Dump was also.
Oh yeah, the Dump was a fun one, but I think Shapeshifters, while it was more of a standard story, I think it might have had some of the best fight scenes between the werewolves. I thought the fight scenes were really dope. Like, it like was like biting its like arm off, or like it was really cool.
Yeah,
and the transformation
was really good.
Yeah, Fish Night was a fun one, but kind of depressing.
I thought, the tall grass was interesting. I thought that was a really interesting concept.
I like that one.
But yeah, pretty much the other stuff. Life Hutch was on season 2. All through the house was in season 2 as well.
Oh, it was.
Ice was phenomenal.
Ice was really good. Actually, yeah, Ice. I take that back. Season 2 was pretty good.
Ice was phenomenal. Yeah. The art style was so good.
Art style was so good, and the story at the end, was it like the modded brother like faked being hurt to like give his brother like a confidence, or that was really nice.
The art style though, it's so phenomenal. It's so
the
good.
electric whales, those are cool.
Swarm. I briefly checked out Swarm again before.
Swarm was depressing.
Episode. Swarm was very depressing. It was like he was like, "Oh, I'll just kill myself. I won't betray the human race." And she's like, "If you do that, I'll just reanimate your body."
Yeah.
Or clone you. And then she was like the Swarm mind was like, "Yeah, you either breed with me willingly, or I'll just kill you and make you breed with me." So
yeah, so depressing. And it's like,
but it was so good though. Yeah. I thought it was good.
It's kind of like, I mean, that's what I think. It was definitely a commentary on like humans and their like colonization kind of tendencies.
Yeah,
like we're gonna take this breed of like aliens and use them as our tools. And it's like, that's fucked up, kind of.
Even the scientist was like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
but she was convinced either way.
Yeah. What do you think about
vaulted halls?
Oh,
in vaulted halls and tomb.
Oh, yeah, the one with Cthulhu.
Yeah,
that one was cool.
Insane.
Hella depressing.
The ending too.
Yeah, the Cthulhu reveal was like, I was like, what is this? And my question was, he was like, "Free me," but my question is, who chained up Cthulhu? Who's that powerful?
Who the fuck? Who would know, bro? But the ending was really good. I thought that she had like cut off her eyes or some shit.
And she was like muttering like Cthulhu speak.
Yeah.
Another depressing banger. What do you think about Pop Squad? You know which one that one is?
I'm gonna look. I think that's episode 1.
Season 2. It's a cop charged with fighting the scourge of overpopulation.
Oh.
It's the one where people are immortal. That was okay?
I thought it was okay. Oh, I thought the concept was interesting, trying to figure out why people still choose to like have kids even though they know it's illegal. I thought it was okay. Definitely not more memorable ones. Like I said, like, Love, Death, and Robots has a lot of good episodes, lots of good stories.
Yeah.
The ones that are like bad are just the ones that are less memorable compared to the other ones. But they're not like bad compared to other things. It's like, it's like saying like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie. But it's a bad movie compared to Spider-Man 1 and 2. But compared to like all the other Marvel, like not Marvel, well, some Marvel.
Superhero. Yeah, some Marvel. But superhero,
some superhero like stuff. Like it's still a good. I would rather watch Spider-Man 3 compared to a lot of other shit right now.
Yeah, same. I think I don't know if I can pick out like my least favorite. I think low key my least favorite. I think I say my least favorite might be either Blind Spot or Lucky 13 from season 1.
Really, Lucky 13?
I thought Lucky 13 was good, but it was kind of, it wasn't super exceptional to me. I thought the story was like, okay, no, not Lucky 13. Blind Spot though. Yeah. I think Blind Spot is my least favorite.
Do you like, okay, here's my question though, since you said a Blind Spot. Do you like Blind Spot more than you like automated customer service?
I thought that one was fun. It wasn't like crazy. I just thought it was like a fun one. Like this is kind of funny, I thought it was funny. But I get it. It's low. It's low on my list. But I think if it wasn't funny to me, then I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, the Drowned Giant's bottom for me.
Drowned Giant is bottom 3. I can give you a bottom 3. my bottom 3 is Drowned Giant, automated whatever service, automated customer service, and Blind Spot.
I think the bottom for me would probably be like Mason's Rats.
I like that. That was fun.
I like the customer service one better. Like that one's more funny. That one's more funny to me than the Mason's Rats one. Mm-hmm. The Drowned Giant is down there as well.
Oh, I don't think it was bad. I just think the Drowned Giant was like a different kind of story. There was no twist. There was no like dramatic moment. It was just kind of like a more of an observational story.
Yeah, like it was just questioning like life and stuff. But I just thought it was boring. I was like, where's my twist? Where's my story building? And I don't give a fuck about this. But no, I think overall the show's really good. Definitely has so many high points, and definitely, I would definitely rewatch some of those episodes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was really looking forward to talking about it too. I was like, yes, we can finally talk about Love, Death, and Robots.
It's so good, and it was on my list for a long time too. Definitely up there. If I were to give like, here's another ranking list for you. No, but I think the best TV show, some of the best TV shows I've ever watched. It might be up there. It might be up there for sure. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really good. Really good. 9 out of 10s. You don't get 9 out of 10s often in TV,
Yeah. But I think we should stop the episode here.
Yeah.
I can't believe about Love, Death, and Robots for an hour.
This whole episode is just Love, Death, and Robots.
You were like, yeah, I'm gonna timestamp this. I'm like, I don't think you will. I think just the whole thing will be Love, Death, and Robots. That's the timestamp.
I mean, hey, that's what I did last week. Is there anything in particular you want to highlight that you just did last week, or?
Did some more After Effects. I showed John my little pizza animation.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Nice.
You had more notes than that, but
you had more notes than that?
You had more feedback than it's good.
Oh yeah. Just a little bit of feedback. It is good.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah.
For my third animation, like my first reel, like my first animation that I didn't use tutorials in. I'd say, 'cause I just did the Illustrator tutorial on how to make the pizza.
But hey, it's pretty good, and you're making good progress. So, next week episode might be a banger. I got something I'm working on that I haven't mentioned yet. But I might have a banger for y'all next week. Literally a banger.
Well, we're gonna watch it either way.
Yeah.
Either way, no matter what happens, we're gonna watch it all.
We're gonna find out. It might It might not be the final version because they do like live stream. This isn't gonna make sense yet. So I'm not gonna talk about it now. But we'll talk about it.
Tori to we can get Tori to videotape the whole thing.
You can't. You're not allowed to. The video is their product. So.
Wow.
I mean, because they have a YouTube channel, they don't want people.
Can you send me the live stream link?
Yeah. I'll send the live stream link.
You send the live stream link. I will record it.
It'll be recorded.
Record the live stream.
I think they put their live streams up.
Well, if it's not ready by the time we do our thing, I'll have it recorded just in case.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay.
I might cut this part out because it makes no sense for the people watching.
No, just leave it in. Leave it in.
All right. This is the teaser. Y'all don't know what we're talking about, but I got something in the works. But other than that, thanks for tuning in this week on the episode of Review TV Shows. What's new with John and Jude?
We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.